I see a lot of content on YouTube regarding drawing skills. Amazing claims of learning to draw well, learn to draw quickly, learn to draw in different styles. I'm going to do things a little bit differently because a lot of the time those don't work. They all seem to mean the same thing. This is how I draw, and I think it's the only / best way. They're usually a cartoonist with a fancy graphics tablet. Now, I've got a fancy graphics tablet too, but the thing is, I learnt my skills before having one and adapted my style when I got it. They tell you they'll teach you different styles, but this often means that they'll show you how to draw different characters in their same style, which isn't the same thing at all. They make assumptions about what you know already, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you some straight up basics today about proportion and how elements of the face fit together. I'll do another film using more complicated methods, and if you're a little bit more advanced, that one's for you. But today is about drawing a face from the front, how that changes with different face shapes, and formulas for drawing the eyes, nose and mouth. So we begin with a circle that represents the top of the skull, and an inverted triangle which represents the jawbone. Divide those two shapes equally vertically, and then divide them horizontally into a half, into a quarter, and then into an eighth, and this will represent the eye line, the bottom of the nose and the mouth. Then go back to vertically and divide into 3 parts that will represent the eyes, and the eyes are an eye width between them as well. I'm just going to knock in the eyes here, but we're going to talk about how to draw the eyes, nose and mouth individually later on in this video. So the nose sits in that middle third and sits on top of that quarter line, and then the mouth on that 8th line, and the width of the mouth is usually to the middle of the eyes either side. Follow the triangle there for the jawline, and then think about the ears, which are usually between that half and quarter point, so at the eye and bottom of the nose point. If you want to put in the hairline at this point, the top quarter is a vague point to use. If you're drawing someone without any hair, then that circle you've drawn already will be the skull line. If you're going to put hair on, then you move that point up slightly. Just going to do a little bit of shading at this point just to give it a bit more depth, but I will talk in detail about shading in another video, so don't worry about that too much right now. So the eye is starting with a circle for the iris, and you're cutting that up with a diamond. Nobody shows you the whole of the iris of their eye unless they're really surprised, so you cut the top or the bottom or both off of that. Put a downward point on for the tear duct. The upper eyelid always goes over the bottom one, so draw the other corner accordingly. The fold of the eyelid and the eyebrow follow the top of that diamond as well. If you're going to put in eyelashes, think about drawing from the point of the tear duct outwards. If you go perpendicular to the line you've drawn on that diamond, you're going to look like a scarecrow. Always follow that line across from the tear duct. If you're going to have different sizes of eye, it's the diamond that changes. So you can do a longer, thinner diamond for a longer eye, a shorter one that's wider for a bigger eye. It all depends on who you're drawing. Now the lips, again, a circle and a diamond. It's very important to know that there are 5 muscles in your lips. I'm just going to draw them here. There are 3 across the top and 2 across the bottom. So remember that middle one, draw that into your diamond. And the reason you're drawing that in is because if you were to draw straight across from one corner of the mouth to the other to divide the lips, it's going to look very flat, not very lifelike at all. You need to take into account that little circular muscle at the top of the lips every time. If you follow that dip, then your lips are going to look more lifelike. Again, if you're going to shade the lips, radiate from that central point again to follow the curve and the fullness of the lips. So now the nose, guess what? It's a circle and diamond. That circle represents the most prominent point on the nose in front of you, and the bottom half of that diamond is where you're going to draw in the nostrils. It often helps you with the shading at this point as well to have that circle there. A nose is mostly represented by the shading. Don't worry about that, we'll talk about that another time. The good thing about the circle and diamond method there is that you can move the circle and change the position of the nose quite easily. Remember, this is a basic formula and faces come in all different shapes. Longer noses, bigger chins, large lips, no lips, and I'm not even going to start to talk about this one. So rip pictures from advertising or use pictures of your favourite actors and copy them to get the feel of the diversity of humanity, and look closely at how you have to subtly change things sometimes to make it work. The next video will be a little bit more advanced, looking at bone structure with Gray's Anatomy and foreshortening with the Loomis method, so that you can confidently draw faces from different angles. I hope that what I've shown you has helped. Remember, the practice is up to you because there's no magic wand. The pencil is an instrument. Learning this stuff is like learning to play scales on a violin. Knowing scales is necessary and good practice, but it doesn't make you a musician. You want to play jazz, but you can't do it yet, and that's perfectly okay. You must learn the rules backwards, forwards, upside down before you can confidently break those rules and go off in your own direction. Check out my next video for more advanced stuff, and remember to subscribe for updates and join me on Instagram at ArtyMouse76 for lots of other stuff.